Australia is just hours away from enforcing a world-first social media ban. By the time you wake tomorrow morning, at least 10 major platforms, including Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube and Twitch, will officially be off limits to anyone under the age of 16.
But ahead of this monumental change, one school principal is voicing concerns that kids haven't been given the right tools to prepare for life offline, and many of her students share the same fears. Joining us now is Dr. Kate Hadwin, principal of Pymble Ladies College, and Clara Medalia, a Year 9 student going into Year 10 at Pymble as well. Kate, first to you. You say that kids aren't prepared enough for this and it's really going to impact a lot of them out there.
Matt, I feel like the conversation has been a lot about what is going on, what's the government doing, do you like it or not, what are social media companies doing? And I really feel our young people have been a little bit lost in this conversation, that there's been not a lot of advice out there about, OK, this is happening, so how can you best prepare for it and how can you make sure that you still stay connected with your friends and have support networks and that you're able to voice those concerns to people around you who love you.
So, Clara, what do you and your friends think about it? Because you're being told this is what's happening.
Yeah, we feel very shut off. Like I said in my poem that I made, it just literally feels like a hand's being pressed against my mouth and I just have to deal with it. And that we've been just like put in the dark and just like, go away, like let's just keep this quiet.
So let's dig deeper into you and the way you communicate with your friends. So at the moment you're on a number of social platforms. That's going to all end tomorrow. How are you going to communicate? And also too, we know that when you meet new friends, you're like, what's your snap to communicate? What are you going to do now?
I suppose we're going to have to ask for what's your number, which has been like recently frowned upon because it's not the normal thing. And to be honest, I haven't really thought about what I'm going to do because it's all like so new. No one likes change. So we're all just like, yeah, I'm barely going to talk to you. And it's just like, not that you don't want to talk to them. It's just, it's really different to start a conversation on messages, because on Snapchat, your messages delete like as soon as you like send it, like depending on your like chat. But on messages, your like conversation is just constantly there, and it's a bit weird, like scrolling up and being like, "Oh, I did say that."
Right.
What about the argument, which is led by parents who've lost their children? It's really serious. What about the argument that all the adults in Canberra are making and around Australia, that it's an unsafe place to be and it promotes bullying?
Yeah, I think it's definitely like it's not good what social media has become, but there's a lot more like pros than there is cons. Like social media is like a support network for many people who can't find support through real life. So by taking away social media, a lot of people who are going through mental health issues will be like, oh, I don't really have that many people in my community real life. Let me go online because I know there's someone like me going through what I'm going through and I need to find support. So by saying like, oh no, it's so bad, feel like you can't do this, you're like, oh, well, that's actually not true. So it's like, you've got to get a good balance in between it.
Your poem was almost like a eulogy in a way, a breakup. You said it's like they've unplugged the sun and told us to enjoy the shade. Kate, you would deal on a daily basis with online bullying as a school principal. You have seen the horrific impacts that that can have. Are we doing the right thing here? It feels like from an adult point of view, telling the kids, you know what, you just need to take a breath.
I think we're absolutely doing the right thing, and Pymble introduced the Wise Phone at the beginning of this year, which removed young people from social media from the earliest years through to Year 7, and that's been really interesting because what we have seen is an increase in quality of sleep. We've seen young people more attentive in class, we've seen them engaging with their families, playing outdoors more often, so we now have a year's worth of data to say that it is having a positive impact. What I'm really concerned about is just making sure that we do this in the right way and also understand that new social media platforms are going to be born from this. And so how are they being regulated and how are they taking reasonable steps to protect young people? And so I'm very pro any measure that gives young people back the childhood that they deserve, because we as adults have created this environment for them, let's be honest. And so, you know, we do need to take steps.
You know, I feel like we need to have you back in a couple of months and get an update,
where you're at.
See where you both are, because you're looking after the school and you're dealing with your friends. So I think it's a really good snapshot. Thank you so much for coming in.
Really
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having us.
Thank you for highlighting this.
Yeah, it's so important, isn't it?